Hello. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. It's been a while. Who's here? Who's first? Let me know if this sounds good. If I don't use my equipment in a minute, I'm like a little rusty. Deborah is the first one. Hey, Deborah, thanks for joining. I know it's a different time. I wanted to see if it would be easier for some of our overseas people just to try a little different time, okay? Hopefully Joseph will be joining us from Ireland, okay? But thank you for joining, Deb. And 420 is here. Hello. 420, much love to you. Much love, CWS. Hello. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Oh, you did? You watched it? Thank you. I had a great time. It was wonderful. Thank you, Sally. I think Mexico is going to be the next Somalia 2.0. Really? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, it's amazing. The things that are going on all through the world realm. Bernadette, you said you would be here. Thank you for being here, Bernadette. Tina's here. Hello, blessings. Karen, oh my God. Karen, how are you? Our beautiful Harlem Sentinel. How's it going up in Cray Cray, New York? Oh, Joseph is joining us from Ireland. Thank you, Joseph. I tried to make it a little early. I would try to do it another time too. But yeah, just let us know how it works out because we want you joining us. Okay. So, Joseph, keep the door open. Okay. For anybody who's coming in. Thank you for joining on Facebook and on Twitch. So, today, let's see, where will we start? I really want to read your responses from the last few uploads, right? It's been interesting. I guess we did talk about, we debriefed about the Smoky God, and it was some other things like I want to see where you are with these narratives, okay? So just fill it in, okay? You're banned, Bernadette. Congratulations. Bernadette is banned on Facebook and Twitter, the Twitters. Congratulations for getting banned. That means you're doing something to mess up the narrative. It's not fun, right? But it does mean you are being, what is it, a disruptor in a good way. Okay, so I want to talk about ether. I know a lot of you talk about ether. I lost a few friends, I think, because I was talking about ether. I don't know how that would offend anybody, but yeah, let's talk about ether. And I have a few things I'm, just kind of working on in my mind to try to connect it all and drop any good resources because I think it was, let's see, Tartaria, Australia, right? Who watches the Tartaria channel that they're out of Australia? Let us know because I think they were just talking about ether or someone from one of those channels, and I didn't get to watch it fully, but I have some theories about ether. There you go, Karen. I knew Karen. Karen, thank you, sis. That 999 ether is all around us. Karen, I need to learn about the ether. Is it sort of like, do you remember? Okay, of course, Karen knows, she's from New York. Okay, this is during the rap years. Who talked about catching the vapors? Catching the vapors. You catching the vapors. What was all that about? Was that about the ether? Karen, let us know. Let me know, because I didn't know what catching the vapors were. Oh, yes, Joseph, it's autodidactic. Yes, and Kelly Jones, thank you. They are out of Australia, and they have that wonderful channel. And I think they're going to be getting together and having a gathering. You know about the vapors? Bernadette, is that sort of like the ether? Or is it just a stretch? Am I tripping? Help me. Okay, if you hear a lot of noise in the background, it's Josephine. For some reason, she's scratching and acting crazy. She wasn't doing it before I went live. Of course, right? Of course. Sean is here. Thank you. Something they don't want us to know about, the ether. Catching the ether. Okay, Karen, what's the deal with the vapors? I want to know what the vapors were. Who sang the vapors? Catching the vapors. Did I do a New York accent? That's why the ley lines are important. They are put in areas where the ether is most powerful. There you are. Thank you. I don't know why I want to snap. I feel like I'm in one of those clubs like, yes, Karen, tell them about the ether. The ether. I'm acting silly. I've missed you all. What are you saying? Sean is saying 0 point energy. Okay. Joseph, you said, I wish we could teleport and meet. Oh my God, that is the best idea. I wish we could too. Hello, Josephine. You guys are saying hi to her. She's acting a little cuckoo. You know, when the theme music started, I think she's now like used to it, like, oh no, what's going on? So she started acting crazy. Ether is that free energy. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For anybody who's new to these conversations and these spaces, I like to at least make it a little easy, because that's the reason I wouldn't get into the whole Tartarian, Mudflood, flat earth. I was like, no, 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 no. I can't do it. I thought it was just too much. Okay. Too much. It was too much for me at the moment, because around the time all of that was being introduced, like I mentioned on the timeline, it was 2020 for me. And I was busy on the front lines, you know, being a hero nurse that was a 0 the next year. So I couldn't get into it then. But once Joseph made that comment on Instagram, I'm never going to let you all forget it. Joseph made a comment to me, and it was just something happened. It just made sense. And I started becoming interested in this research. So I'm telling you, it can just happen. You never know. Hold on a minute, because I have to take care of something Josephine has done. Hold on just a moment. She is acting cuckoo. 1 minute. I'm still with you. Okay, back with you. Yeah, the cat is. What's going on for the people that pay attention to everything? Because I don't know. Is there some kind of thing going on with the moon or something? Why is she acting so crazy? Is it a thing? Are your pets acting crazy all of a sudden? Okay, the vapors. Why do I want to say it like that? The vapors. The vapors is usually. I'm being silly. Usually, when they are saying you are in negative energy, like example, in a rap song, they would say caught the vapors, because now I'm making G paper. Let me say it like they would say it in New York. Caught the vapors because I'm now making the G paper. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Oh my goodness. Okay, people are probably like, new subscribers are probably like, no, this isn't what I signed up for. What the heck? Okay, let me get serious. Okay, I'm going to get serious. All right, now keep in mind that I want to know the connection. Oh, you thought the vapors was just breathing in the weed smoke? That's probably the vapors too. Yeah. Hey, John, thanks for joining. Nice to see you. All right. So, okay, Josephine's at it again. 1 minute. I just have one more thing to take care of. 1 minute. Okay, Josephine, it's enough with this. You're either in or you're out, but you're disruptive. Okay, sorry. All right. What else is You need your sound machine. Oh my God, I've been trying to learn it. Okay, next time I'm going to have it. I love it, by the way. I just need to learn it and I'm going to have fun for the next live stream. I sure am. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me get with these slides. I'll make the screen a little bigger. Okay, what do you think about this picture I used for the thumbnail? I love this picture for some reason. It is dreamy, okay? Like imaginative, and that's what the whole 1800s, this aspect of the 1800s, okay? I got a little caught up in the story of Nellie Bly, and Nellie Bly being that I don't know how much of that narrative I believe. Let me know. I read your comments, they were great. I know that some of these, these narratives are based in some truth and lots of lies. And especially the 1800s is like a one big lie. Like, oh my goodness, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, I'm sorry, Josephine got scolded. Yes, she does every now and then. Oh my gosh, she's just acting weird. Okay, let's see. Whales are majestic, magnificent, and otherworldly. Yes, they are. And that is why it appealed to me that the whales and some of the names that they use for aviation crafts, they use kind of like whales in the imagery. And also whales and sharks look a lot like aviators, don't they? They look like airplanes to me. What about to you? I mean, they have the fin and the dorsal fin and the tail and everything. What do you think about that? The wings. So they just give me that feeling of aviation when I look at a shark or a whale. Bird on a tree, nice to see you. Hello. Ether, thank you. You're chiming in on ether. Ether changing a lot right now. Feeling it on your skin? Really? Wow. I love it. Okay, so I want to talk about, well, this is one of the pictures you've seen this one. I like this one a lot. Not sure if it's real. I think this is, of course, this is fantasy photography. Although during 2020, when they had those lockdowns, we know that, you heard about the water in Venice. It became very like clear. You could see to the bottom. It was like bath water. And it's not like that normally. It's pretty smelly and dirty. But during that time, they saw dolphins just, prancing and frolicking all through the Venice canals. So I don't know if this killer whale, Shamu, was making its way through the canals. It's possible, but I just love this picture. Just love it. Yeah, Zeppelins. Exactly, John. I want to talk about Zeppelins, so please share what you know about Zeppelins. I'm very intrigued. Corin, hi and thanks for joining. Cats can see energy. Maybe Josie is seeing something. Yeah, I know they do. They do see some things. I can tell, And I love this picture. Just like you said, majestic. Those are the words that I think of with certain animals. They are absolutely majestic. So this has that very serene yet very powerful, image of these large behemoths. I guess they could be called behemoths. So this is an example of what I mean. This flying whale. So this is like a Zeppelin, and I am not sure where exactly it is flying, but it looks pretty lush. I would think it looks like a jungle, maybe Central South America. Yeah. So, oh, you want to hear about my grandpa in RCA? Okay. I have a slide. I'll get to it, Sean. Yeah. So we have that Philly connection going on. I talked a little bit about my grandfather and his career at RCA. So, the story of Nellie Bly, uh, her being from Pennsylvania was interesting. And the fact that they spun a narrative of a young woman who wanted to beat the time of Jules Verne, and his character of Phineas Fogg. Did I say it right? So around the world in 80 days. So she set out to beat the time. And what was weird about the story is that her arch rival, Elizabeth Bislin, was doing the same thing, was going to circumnavigate the globe. Of course, I'm using their terminology, the globe. Do you love those shoes? I do too. I like these. For some reason, that style is so, it's it's beautiful, but it's not overdone, if you know what I mean. Like, it looks like it can support a woman, not like a stiletto, which is very tenuous. I mean, that's dangerous to walk on a stiletto, right? But this just looks like it's feminine and pretty and everything, yet it looks stable, right? I don't know. I'm thinking of function and form. But hello, Mary. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you here. Yes, Zeppelins. That's a good name. Whales of the Sky. Fascinating. Zeppelins. I am very intrigued. Who was into the music Led Zeppelin? I think a few of you were into Led Zeppelin. Tina, were you a Led Zeppelin fan? It speaks to me, that style, feel like I would have done well in that era. I like that. I would have done well in that era. I feel like I would have done well in that era too. And again, I know people bring up the fact that, oh, well, people were oppressed, certain groups were oppressed. But again, we have already talked about this. Not everyone was oppressed throughout these timelines. Not everybody was. It's interesting because it seems like things happened in certain parts a lot more. I'm not sure. You'd rather have some pirate. Oh, it reminds you of pirate shoes. Really? Oh, yeah. You know what I like about them now that I'm looking at them? I love ribbons. Are you guys into ribbons? I know the guys are like, oh no, please stop. Okay, I'll stop, guys. But I'm just saying, like, I like ribbons. So ribbons, anything with ribbons, I am loving it. But back to the story of Nellie Bly. I didn't upload, for anybody who's new. Welcome, welcome. Come in and chat with us. We don't bite. DT girl, you loved Led Zeppelin. What did you love about Led Zeppelin? Let me know. What's your favorite Led Zeppelin song? Let me know. Eliana, hello. Thanks for joining. Let me know what's your favorite Led Zeppelin tune. You're not a big fan of not big on ribbons. Okay. Hey, everybody has their thing. But this Nellie narrative, New York Nellie at the adventurous. So it seems like in the 1800s, there was a big push for women's rights. So we had the suffrage movement, and it was so many movements, so many things, moving parts, right? So the thing with women, I'm looking at it and trying to see how all these puzzle pieces fit in with the social culture and the suffrage movement, the women entering the workplace, and thus the liberation, as they call it, sexual liberation, things like that. Oh, wow. I see Matthew, our new friend Matthew. You're going to California? Well, traveling mercies. Have fun. What are you going to do out there? Just going to visit? You don't like ribbons for yourself, but being a 70s baby, that's what exactly. That's why I like them, because I had to wear them. So maybe I just found it. You love Zeppelin? You love Led Zeppelin? Yeah, you mentioned that. You found it so magical, except you didn't realize they were oh, they're into black magic? Okay. I cannot listen to them now. I know too much. Yeah, they're dark. That's the thing with the rock music. It was very mesmerizing, the rock music, because I loved rock, and I love, like, what is it? Jimmy Page and Kashmir. Isn't that the do 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 do, right? Do do do. I love that. Okay, I would be rocking out to that. Okay, now I cannot do it. I can't do it now, knowing too much, like you said. Thank you, Molly. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Oh, let's see. Matthew, are you Led Zeppelin fan? It's Led Zeppelin tune. Was that what I was just, is that, okay, Jimmy Page and Kashmir, was he part of Led Zeppelin? Tell me. No, Jimmy Page was someone else. Now, my rock and roll knowledge is not on point, but I did like certain rock. And rock and roll, of course, they used, you all know the stuff that they use, the hurts and the things that they've done to the music, but it had a draw. They don't make rock anymore. Rock had like a short window of time, and then it just went away, right? So all of that energy that was spent, I guess it was for a purpose, and then they moved into more degrading. Like what we have now is so degraded. It's terrible. I feel bad for the young people. They've really gotten cheated. At least, even though some of the music that we liked was really, now that we know, we wouldn't really want to do anything like that now, but it was more quality, had more quality and substance, right? So let's see, Lady Di, hello. Your daughter is freaking out because she is having a synchronicity about Nellie Bly. Is she really? What? Apparently, her friend just told her about Nellie today at lunch. Are you kidding? Keep me posted on that. Are you serious? Uh-oh. Those are deep when that happens. Like, it's all like happening for a reason. We're all so connected. Jimmy Page put the band together. Okay, so Jimmy Page was at Led Zeppelin, so I'm right about that. Was I right? Wow. So I guess I'm remembering some things. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Yes, I'm glad you're here. You're serious? Okay, I believe. But I'm still tripping, Lady Di, because this stuff is happening a lot lately, right? Don't you notice? Like, it's all happening lately, and then somebody else will have a confirmation, and it's like, oh my goodness. It happens all the time, Lady Di. That's why I'm like, but keep me posted, please. I want to hear more about it. Is she going to do some research, find out? If she finds out more about it, let us know, because I'm very curious about Nellie Bly. Okay, so the Nellie Bly story, I really think now that it was created to, of course, I agree with you, Joseph, what you said in the comment section earlier. I believe it has embedded within it the whole globe and the heliocentric theory, and pushing it for some reason, and then the connection to the asylum where she spent 10 days on Blackwell Island, which is also Roosevelt Island in New York City, and She spent 10 days there. She also revealed, now Tina, you're going to find this interesting. You and Sean and Joseph and all of you that are into this, okay, you mudflooders, okay. She made a comment in one of her, dispatches that she wrote, is that the people that were being held in the asylums, they were not mentally unstable. They were merely immigrants that didn't speak English. So that is very interesting, I'll say. Very, very interesting. Sean says, yes, he is the guitar player. Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. Yes, that's the other one. Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham. So those are the people that make up Led Zeppelin. All right. So is it correct that Led Zeppelin has the song Kashmir? Let me know in the chatmosphere. Am I right, Kashmir? Dana, hello, Dana. Thanks for joining us tonight. Who is Nellie Bly? Bird on a Tree is asking, who is Nellie Bly? Nellie Bly, I just did a video on Nellie Bly. She was a woman who was from Pittsburgh. This is just a quick, for anybody who didn't get to see it. So she was from Pittsburgh as a young girl. Her father died when she was 6 years old, and he came from Ireland. He was a laborer, but he leveled up and became a high value man. So he bought the farm, he bought the mill. And when they were saying mill, for anybody from Pittsburgh, shout out to Pittsburgh. When you say mill in Pittsburgh, I wasn't thinking, of course, steel. So we're talking steel mills. So he bought a steel mill. And he was like a judge. He was, again, like one of these people that had a million different hats that he wore. So he was the postmaster, he was the judge, he was, all of these things. So when he died, she was 6 years old. And I think they said her father didn't have a will. So they went from having everything to being poor. And that's what could happen back then, I guess. So Nellie became desperate to make something of herself because of this big fall from financial grace that her family went through. And she had a big family. Her father had 15 children. She was like the 13th. So 13th daughter or something like, I don't know, a big family. And, she worked her butt off, and maybe she had a stage mother, is what I'm assuming, is because the story reads like she has a stage mom in the back who's orchestrating all of this, but she wanted to be famous. So she had this quest for fame and fortune. You really enjoyed the Nellie Bly? Good, thank you. If you didn't see the Nellie Bly video, trust me, it's an interesting story. I would love to hear what more people think about it. Kashmir is okay, so I'm right. So Kashmir, what must be my favorite Led Zeppelin song that I know of. I don't know a lot of them. Okay, so just a theory, if they traveled in 80 days around the world, then we can't be that far from other countries. Thank you, as they say. That technology, or was that tech more advanced than engine planes? Thank you for that. For anybody who has traveled to far lands, haven't you felt that they weren't telling you the truth? Because I can never sleep on long flights. In spite of being tired, for some reason, I'm just awake. And, I'm walking around, I'm talking to people. You know how you do on those long flights? You meet people by the window over there, and you got your airplane socks on, and, you start talking to people. If you're going to China, they give you the ramen noodles. I thought that was so cool. You guys like meet up in the galley and they give you hot water and give you one of those thing of ramen. I was like, this is so awesome. So anyway, I just stay up and then I watch the, the globe that they have in your console there. And it always seems so goofy that they show the plane, they show the globe and they show the whole like whatever sphere, and the plane looks like it's like going over the globe. It's so goofy that it never feels right to me. And it also never feels like the time makes sense, if you know what I mean. Like when you're traveling and they say it's going to take this amount of time, even though that time differences, but still something just seems off about it, right? It's something that I could never explain. And my family always thought, oh, she's just making a big deal about nothing. But no, it's like my discernment was telling me that something is just not right about the time and the distance and everything about it. 2 days ago, we flew back to Portugal from Mexico. Sleeping was very weird. Oh, yeah? Do you notice the same thing, bird on a tree, like the timing and the distance, especially you go, going and coming, just something off about it? I know they take different routes, but you know what I'm saying? It's something I can't explain, but I've just always felt that. So moving on. Again, I think that this Nellie Bly story has a lot to do with the cosmology of the world realm. I just do. It's a theory I'm working on, but I will, help me piece it together. So this right here, I want to talk about the airships. And I did title this, what did I say? Airships and ether. And I'm going to read something about ether in a bit. But ether, Zephyr winds, those names are just so like ethereal. And when I look at this picture right here, I think steampunk. Is that something that you've ever gotten into? Do we have any steampunk fans here? Let us know, because this is what it gives me, the vibe of steampunk. And my daughter was into steampunk a little, she didn't get into it like really big, but it was in the beginning of Pinterest. Remember when Pinterest was first out? And I would collect steampunk things. I don't know why. I just suddenly found this genre and I thought it was interesting to make boards and look at it, and something about it felt like strangely nostalgic, and I was fascinated with it. And then my daughter became fascinated with steampunk, and one of her friends had a steampunk birthday party, so I thought that was kind of cute. But when you look at this, do you think of steampunk also? Paul, hello. Thanks for joining us. Hi. You said, wish you would do a deep dive on Amelia Earhart. I probably will. Thank you for saying that. I will write her down. Hold the thought. I'm going to write her down because I have a feeling I need to remind myself about Amelia. Okay, so yes, I'm going to get something and write it down because I don't want to forget. I have a feeling that I'm going to circle back to Earhart because I started talking about her last year, actually, Paul. Just briefly, I made mention of Amelia when it pertained to the collective. They're part of a little society of scientists that included Nikola Tesla as well as Jules Verne. I think he was in it. And if anybody knows about ultra, supra, ultra, do I have it right? It's been a minute. Correct me. Do you know about the group Ultra? I think it's ultra, supra, ultra, or ultra supra. Who has that information? Can you drop it in the chatmosphere for me? Because you brought that up, Paul, and it's a reason that I agree. I want to do a deep dive on Amelia Earhart and her group. So, because, you know, when you think about it, all of these people were all contemporaries of each other. And that's the thing that I didn't realize, that they were all contemporaries of each other. Is that what you find, that when you were learning about this, it seemed that it was staggered? It didn't seem like they were all contemporaries. So now that we're looking at the 1800s, when all of this stuff supposedly happened, and all of these people were on the world scene at the same time, it just begs to question what is really going on. And you are saying, I believe it's just an illusion of time they made up through indoctrination. I felt that it was like I had to keep my balance to not fall into it too much. Oh, that is a beautiful description. Thank you for that. I bet a lot of people can relate to what Bird on a Tree just posted, that it's like when you're waking up, and they use the term waking up, but when you literally wake up in the morning, you're kind of groggy. You've had one foot in another realm. When we go to sleep at night, where do we go? We go somewhere. And we don't talk about sleep a lot. Maybe I'm going to write that down too. I want to talk about, look into sleep. Hold it. Just have to make sure I write things. Yes, that's the name, Molly. Supra Ultra. Anybody know about that group, Supra Ultra? I did a deep dive on it when it was part of my channel that they took away. So my old channel, I did a dive on Super Ultra, but now it will be a different type of dive, because I'm at a different place in my understanding. So I need to circle back to Supra Ultra and the people that were involved in that group. Tina saying the Zeppelin airship named after a German inventor, Count Ferdinand Zeppelin. Of course, German inventor. Yes. Tina, a lot of the pictures that I saw of the Zeppelin, it was definitely German engineering, German names. So yes, Germany just factors so big when it comes to aviation and technology like that, as far as even submarine, I'll just say transportation technology, just to be general. Germany is beyond superior in that area. And for those that wear the tinfoil turban, you know that we've heard about Germany and their access to Antarctica and other things they have tapped into. They have reverse engineered a lot of technology. So they are way ahead. They're here now. I mean, they're a part of our culture. They've blended into South America. I'll just say all of the Americas, right? The Germans that learned a lot. Alan, how are you? Nice to see you always. Thank you for joining, Alan. So join us, Alan, because I know you know a lot about this too. Please share what you know about ether. We're talking about airships right now. We're talking about the whole genre of steampunk, the 1800s, the circumnavigation around the globe, the world realm. And if these two women circumnavigated the world realm, and the the circumnavigation maps, they just go from, what is the circumnavigation? They go from west to east, east to west, but you never see circumnavigation from north to south. Why is that? Can anybody answer why circumnavigation is not north to south or south to north? It's always east to west, west to east. And that is considered circumnavigating. I'm a little confusion, as Salty says. Help me with that. Help me. Yes. So the airship that I'm looking at right here, what I see, the point, okay, it reminds me of the spires that we have been observing in the architecture of the old world, Antiquitech. I love that word so much, Antiquatech. You said typo, deja vu. Yes, it is a date. Thank you, Karen. That's another feeling. It's like a nostalgia and a deja vu. That's what I don't use that word a lot, but that's what I can't forget these things. Deja vu. Something about this deja vu. I'm going to definitely look into that. Belinda's here. Give her some love. I haven't seen you in a minute, Belinda. We're living on a flat earth plane. Love you, Jen. Love you too, Belinda. Love it when you share your knowledge. Let me get a drink of water here. Karen, you're saying, but quantum pilots are debunking that east to west navigation. Oh, really? All my pilot friends are not friends anymore to me. I can't ask them. One day, maybe we'll all get over it. All these divisions of politics and all of that. But I wonder if they would be on the level with me to tell me what they might know about this whole navigation, like when you're doing the international flight. Shayna's here. Hello, Shayna. I love it. You got to share what you know about ether. I know you know about ether. Give you some love, Jennifer Eason. So, I'm so glad to see you here. Share with us. Share. Oh, Belinda's sharing. Okay. Blimps. That's another word. Yes, blimps. I got to look into the etymology of the word blimp. That's weird that I didn't look that up. Thank you for saying blimp. It sounds like a sound, right? Blimp. Okay, blimps work on free energy. They were in use before airplanes. Thank you. Say that, Belinda. Thank you, sis. Do you hear that? I mean, no, you don't hear it. You hear me saying it, but do you see what she just said? Yes. Yes. I wish I had my little sounds. I'm going to do it. Don't get mad. Someone gave me a gift and I do have a sound. What is that thing called when you have this would be a time to do sounds, but I'm going to work on learning it. I'm going to learn it. Okay. So let me start from the beginning. I love this. Blimps work on free energy. They were in use before airplanes. Then they crashed a bunch of blimps because airplanes cost money to fly in. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. She put that tinfoil turban and kicked that knowledge. That's it. Everything is wrapped up in what Belinda just said. Okay. So as we learn more about the technology of the old world, the Antiquitech, the blimps worked on free energy. So that means you could remember for my generation and older, we were told that we would be in such an advanced time by now. I was expecting to have a Jetsons kind of lifestyle. Okay. I'm disappointed. I thought that we would all have our personal flying type of technology. Chris, you're here. Oh, Chris, nice to see you. They want us to pay for our travel. There you are. You all are helping me understand what this is all about. You're confirming with my soul what this is all about. Thank you. We needed to do this. Blimps use the ether. Energy, the energy. There's a pic of a blimp being charged at the steeple of the Empire State Building. Look at that. Chris, you know I'm acting cuckoo, right? Thanks for joining, Chris. You showed up. Yes. All right, Jack Knife is here. I think I read that the Empire State Building was supposed to be a docking port for blimps. You just confirmed what, yes. So I wonder if the Eiffel Tower was also a docking station for blimps. Okay, that's why I titled this. We are tapping into our imagination. And the reason I love this is because I have always been a child at heart. I've always loved the innocence of like my childhood. Even though I had a crazy childhood, I had an innocent childhood at the same time where I was able to do things that expanded my imagination. I would go and play outside with my friends, and I was an only child, so I would play in my room with all of my toys, and I would build things. I was the kind of kid that if my mother had a box, I would say, give me the box. And I used to literally create doll houses with boxes. I would make windows. I would do curtains because my grandmother, she was a big seamstress. So she always gave me scraps of material. So I would make curtains for the window. I even learned how to make windows that had panes because I would cut out all the papers, and my mother would get me a lot of arts and crafts. And I made sofas, and it was for my dolls. So my childhood, I know, was a lot like yours. What hurts my heart for the younger people coming into this system is that they don't get to experience a childhood like that, where you could still play outside and your parents were not like going crazy scared to have you outside. You know, things did happen to children, but it wasn't like now where children cannot play outside, right? So it is something that we are now remembering. And I love that this is happening. Empire State Building, okay? So when you think of blimps, when you think of Zephyrs or Zeppelins, think about the fact that travel is your right, is your God-given right to travel and to explore. Exactly. Thank you, Joseph. Innocence and imagination. The parasites steal and destroy that, because that is a power. And you know what? God wants us to come as a child. Doesn't matter if you're 80 or 50. If you have the heart of a child, that is a pureness. And it is a trusting, but not to trust the wrong thing. But children are absolutely beautiful. They are beyond beautiful. They accept anyone. They don't care how you look. They're just beautiful. It is just not another word. I'm at a loss for words. But a child that's just so sweet and innocent. And when you think about imagination and how we're connecting to not just the weird part of the 1800s, there's also something also very beautiful that they are keeping from us. And I have a feeling that a lot of the Antiquitech is good. Now, tell me what you all think, because I've heard people say that all of the Tartarian stuff is bad and oh, this is evil. It was the Nephilim technology. It's all alien, fallen angel technology. How do you feel about that? Because that's what some people say. And initially, I wasn't sure what I thought about it. I was still on the fence about it. I wanted to research more, but I'll tell you this much. Anything that's going to give people freedom, and everyone has a cornucopia of resources, they are self-sustaining. I'm thinking I fail to see the bad part about it. Just help me share what you're thinking about it. But if we all were supposed to have individual vehicles to navigate the world realm as we see fit for ourselves, as we would like to explore, nobody would have to worry about, I don't know, like there would be no reason to go into another place and want to take advantage of anybody. If everybody has what they need, exploration would just be for, I don't know, just recreation, right? And let me know, like I just see it as a good thing. So these, again, going back to the Antiquitech that's on this vehicle, that point, that spire, that appears to be the antenna for the ether. Is that what it is? Am I right? Tell me what you think. So here we are. We have a graph Zeppelin. So this is what I was saying. You can see the German writing. It says Luftschiff Graf Zeppelin Wasser Landung Bodensee Schwimmend. So yeah, there you are. And look at the picture. This is like, when I first looked at this, I thought that it was riding on land until I really look at it really good. This is on water. It's so amazing. Imagine seeing that, okay, on the water. It looks like it's just coasting. So I'm just amazed at this. Hey, Juan. Oh my gosh, Juan is here. Nice to see you hanging out. Tina is saying it's not all bad. God intended us to have it. It was stolen. Thank you, Tina. I'm feeling the same way about that, Tina. First, people must understand the definition of wealth. They've been taught to look at it as a fiat rather than having resources without fiat. And that right there is everything, Karen. Thank you, sis. Okay, now I want you to think about what our sister just put there, because I've been thinking about that, Karen. When I look at the interior of the trains, if you looked at the last video that I uploaded, I show, and I have it in the slide presentation for tonight, but I showed the interior of the trains at that time. And the trains they ran very like frequent. So you had points from the like New York They stopped, of course, in Chicago, and St. Louis was a big point for the trains. And they went as far as like, they had stations all over, like, I think Ogden, Utah. They had stops all along. And it was very convenient to also sail on steamships. So I looked at the old brochures, and you could see that these ships, they left very regularly. So people were moving about, it seems. And if the interior of the train looks so opulent to us, it's because we have been conditioned to look at wealth as something for a small segment, as opposed to it's just normal. If we could think about it that way, when we look at, and I'm going to show you pictures of the interior of the trains, I want us to take it in together. So if you can think about what Karen is saying here and what I'm saying, that I started realizing is that when I initially looked at the train, I thought, oh, that's for rich people. No. That's for people, period, I believe. I don't think that it was like this. It was just normal. Do you see what I'm saying? So I could be wrong. It's just a theory I'm working on. Okay, just a theory. I'm getting those strange nostalgia, past life memories, deja vu vibes from the Antiquitech of our futurist past. I love that. Everybody is probably feeling what you just said, and we didn't understand why. Why are we feeling like this? I need more water. Okay. So Tina is feeling that too. Okay, you say, I do too, Joseph. I have that deja vu all the time now. It has to be for a reason. Wealth starts with good health. It does. Absolutely. Wealth is something that it has been so perverted, and people think that it's about, material things and this fiat money. It's so perverted. I just think about how much healing we need, and we need to be, our minds must be renewed because of the way that we look at money and wealth. But good health is something that, if a society is run with free energy and people having sovereignty, then I believe health is going to become more optimized, right? And technology, food quality, everything. So it's much more to wealth. Mercedes is here. Hello. Love you, sis. Thanks for showing up and hanging out with us. Let us know what you know about ether, okay? Because that's what we are talking about, understanding ether. Now, look at this train here. And this is the part of the Zephyr part of my title. I love the word Zephyr. I never understood what it was. I thought it had something to do with probably the clouds and stuff like that. I might have thought it had to do with wind, but a Zephyr wind is, let's see, what is the exact definition? Let me just go to what I looked up in terms of what a Zephyr is. The definition of a Zephyr is, of course, it's telling me all these like corporate things. Don't you hate that when you're looking up something and it gives you if a corporation has that name. It's like this, our society is so corporate driven, and you see it when you like run into stuff like that. Okay, so a Zephyr is a west wind and a gentle breeze. Is also any of various soft, light fabrics, yarns, or garments, especially a lightweight checked gingham fabric. So that is what they say a Zephyr is. All right, so a Zephyr train, and they had them, you see, this is Denver. So do you see that traveling via train was very normal? Oh my gosh, thank you all for the love and the super, what is it, super chats. I'm getting used to it. It's new feature. Thank you, Mary. Oh, Juan, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you. So nice to see you here. Thank you all. So you have the Zephyr train, which to me, it looks a lot like the Zeppelin. It gives me that very sleek, and I think of stainless steel. Is that what you think of, like the stainless steel? Okay. So that and this, I bet you all love this type of stuff too. I have had a dream of having an Airstream. What about you? Does anybody here have an Airstream or an RV? I just like the Airstream for some reason because I love aviation. And whenever I would see Airstreams on the road, it just reminded me of something that could fly. Like it just looks like a little airplane. So I've always liked the sleek quality of them. And of course, anybody who is nomadic and has been accused of being a gypsy, as I have. So that would explain that, yeah, I would like to have things that are mobile and cozy, right? So, oh, Jack, you're saying that used to be a minor league team called the Denver Zephyrs? Really? Oh, look at all this history. I love when we put it all together. Art Deco is the term. There you are. Thank you, Sean. It is Art Deco. Absolutely. You're purchasing one real soon? Oh my gosh, that's great, Juan. Congratulations. Now that's nice. So you say, I have a reoccurring dream. I can physically fly. Yes. Maybe when we ascend, things will be like Tartaria. Oh, beautiful. Very, very nice. So your son and his wife have a 70s Airstream? Ooh, nice. I bet that one's beautiful. I love the 70s ones. Yes. All right. So the Airstream, I love this picture. It just looks amazing somewhere out in the West. It could be anywhere else, right? It could be anywhere in the world realm. But it reminds me of the American West. So that model Airstream looks like a 70s model, doesn't it? Or an 80s. Does anybody know their Airstream models? CWS, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. You love the engagement. Oh, you are the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So sweet. Ernestina's here. Yay. Thanks for joining from South America. Hello. You're not late. You're just fine. Thank you for coming in. So you can fly in your dreams as well. Yes. I haven't had a flying dream since I was little. I used to have them a lot. So yeah, it's something about flying. Yeah. Very it feels very nostalgic when you're a child, especially. Okay, I thought this was interesting. So now we're going to take a look at the interiors of the trains. So I was amazed to see a barber shop inside the train. Look at that barber shop. I'll keep it up for a minute so you can scan around and just take it in. Take it in. Isn't that amazing? A barber shop. Wow. That must be a really like smooth ride, huh? Like, would it be magnetic technology for a train, like, to be able to glide very smoothly that I could do? Okay, I'm a barber, and one of my favorite services is I love to do the straight edge shaves. I love to do the luxury shave. So I would love a barber shop like that. I haven't been doing barbering in a long time, but I love to do the hot lather and put the towels with the oils, the essential oil. And you know what I would do for my clients when they're laying in the hot steamy towel, and I do the hot, what lather, and while they're resting, you recline the chair and I give them like a massage up to their elbow. So they're like, some of my clients would start to snore in the chair. Can you imagine how embarrassing? I've had to wake up some clients like, hello, are you okay? So one of my barbering buddies like started calling my shaves, like he called them the sleeping pills or Ambien or something. So yeah, one guy was snoring. It's like, it's just so soothing. And by the way, I wanted to become like a certified where I could do the straight razor for women too. And I don't mean that you have a beard. It's just excuse me, it's good for the skin if you do the shaving, because it's like exfoliating your skin, right? Okay, I'm getting off onto tangents now. But moving on. We're looking at the interior of the trains, okay? I want you to take it in. I'm not going to go past this too fast because I want to read what you're saying. Okay? So what do you say, Mercedes? You let me shave you, because women, when you do the shaving, have you noticed that's why men have such beautiful skin when they get straight razor shaves, because it exfoliates the skin. So women can do it too. So I could just take the peach fuzz, off, and it helps with your products if you're putting serums on your face. Okay. Wow. I'm really off on a different tangent, right? What are you saying, Tina? Jen, you can come to my salon and do some barb. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I'm glad for these offers. Terrence, hello. Thanks for joining, Terrence. Love it when you're here. Yes, Belinda, makeup goes on better. Everything goes on better, like your products for, like I said, your lotions and serums and whatever, and makeup. Yes. Yes, indeed. There you are. So look at this interior. Let me take myself off so you can see. Big Pontiac, you're here. Thanks for joining. Oh, it's so nice to see you, Big Pontiac. Thank you for coming by. Yes, Tina, it's called dermaplane. Yes, there you go. Yes, I can do dermaplane if they allow me to. I've done it on myself. So, because I would practice using the straight razor. So I, practice on myself. Yes. That's the best way you could get used to the razor, because, for anybody who doesn't know about straight razor shaves, the razor that the barber uses is sharper than a surgeon's scalpel. So, yeah, that's probably why I liked it. Nurses, we always think we're like doctors and stuff. So I like all that stuff. And that's why I gravitated to it. But anyway, so here we are, interiors. And I know you guys, what did you think? I know you laughed. Did you laugh when you noticed that Nellie Bly? Okay, I'm gonna have to take a little shot of water for this one. Hold on. This one is a doozy. Get your stuff, get your snacks, because we're going to listen to that song together. Hold on, hold on. Okay. Now, I have told you once, and I will tell you again, and Tina will tell you, that I don't go looking for Negrescence. Negrescence finds me, okay? It finds me. So, boy, here we go. Put your seatbelts on. Now, I'm not even going to go as deep as I could because this became a whole other rabbit hole right here. Okay. So, I'm just going to skim the surface of Nellie's name. So, first of all, the way that I even stumbled on Nellie's story was a trip. But then to look at the fact that her name comes from a Negro melody. Now you see it. Did I write this? Did I write this, people? This is what I am reading. I'm reading this from the 1800s, okay? Can't get offended. Nellie Bly, original Negro melody, sung by all the Ethiopian serenaders. So this is what they call a minstrel act. So this came with the blackface and I am going to look into the whole aspect of the blackface ritual. Let's call it a ritual, because I'm starting to feel that it is a ritual. And I want to look at it from the esoteric, more of the spiritual aspect of it, because there's something to it. Because it's embedded in the 1800s, for one, and it has become a part of culture. It's embarrassing, yes, but there's something. Now, I'm not triggered. Now, if this had been around the time when we had all of that racial, the racial narrative was really getting spun up with I was about to say Rodney King. Okay, let me jump forward. Not Rodney King, but George Floyd and all of the police things. Okay, I can't breathe and all that stuff. So I would have been triggered more, because I have been at different points in time with the whole Black narrative and buying into all of it. I'm questioning all of it now. Okay, so I can look at this with a more what is the word? I can look at this with a detachment. I can have a detachment. And I can look at this without getting like re. Yes, Ethiopian serenaders. What the heck, right? But you have to peep the game, okay? Let me let you peep the game on that, Sean. Let me tell you, because you can look it up yourselves. Blackface could be linked to Marduk or Yaldabaoth. Okay, thank you, Big Pontiac. Big Pontiac, I used to listen to lots of lectures by Bobby Hemmett. Anybody know Bobby Hemmett? And yes, so Bobby Hemmett would break down a lot of stuff when it comes to, he would bring up, what is it? You know what I'm thinking about? The guy that wrote Cthulhu. What's his name? I was about to say Jack Parsons. No, we're not talking about that weirdo right now. But who's the dude that wrote about Cthulhu? Karen, thank you for the love. Josephine needs an advocate. You've always been a good advocate for her. She loves you. She loves you, Karen. Thank you for that. I'll buy Josephine some treats with that, okay? Thank you so much, sis. So I am trying to think of the man's name that wrote the book. Come on, what is it called? The guy that wrote about all that stuff. So it has something to do with even what we were, this stuff here, I believe it's all connected. This, I'm not going to say it, but yes, HP. Thank you. HP Lovecraft. Thank you. HP Lovecraft is thank you, Johnny Borealis. That's what I was trying to think of. So there's something going on with all of that, and we're going to figure it out, and why there is a group of people who have used this to divide us all, and also to hide certain people's identities, who their real identity was. So when I say that, I can look at this, when I read this, I didn't get triggered that her name came from a Black woman. I'm a proud Black woman, right? All of this stuff to me is, the more I get into learning about how many lies we've been told, I just can't get invested in the outrage and the offense, because it's based on a bunch of lies anyway. So go with me a moment, and I want you to listen to the words of Nellie Bly and see what you pick up from it. I want to hear some things like, share. Okay, you ready?
Nellie Bly, bring the broom along. We'll sweep the kitchen clean, my dear, and have a little song. Poke the wood, my lady love, and make the fire burn. And while I take the banjo down, just give your mush a turn. Hey, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love, to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dulcet melody. Hey, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love, to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dulcet melody. Nellie Bly have a voice like the turtle dove. I hears it in the meadow and I hears it in the grove. Nellie Bly have a heart warm as cup of tea, and bigger than the sweet potato down in Tennessee. Hey, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love, to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dulcet melody. Hey, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love, to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dulcet melody. Nellie Bly shuts her eye when she goes to sleep. When she wakens up again, her eyeballs begin to peep. The way she walks, she lifts her foot and then she brings it down. And when it lights, there's music there in that part of the town. Hey, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love, to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dulcet melody. Hey, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love, to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dulcet melody. Nellie Bly, never, never sigh. Never bring the teardrop to the corner of your eye. For the pie is made of pumpkins and the mush is made of corn. And there's corn and pumpkins plenty love, a lying in the barn. Hey Nellie, ho Nellie, listen love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dulcet melody. Hey Nellie, ho Nellie, listen love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you, a dulcet melody.
Oh my. Okay. Lots of good. Alan said this was like a ritualistic chant. Oh, that's deep, Alan. It has a weird, it, I can't put my finger on it, but when I first heard it, I was like, there's something to it. And I don't know about music. Joseph is a musician. Like, when it comes to music and mathematics and the meter, or the, what is it called, the meter, like when you write poetry, it's something to it. So I'd like to know, what are you saying, Mercedes? The broom thing got you thinking which is a witchcraft song. Ooh, interesting. Yes, so you say hypnotic. Interesting. You had to did you read them to the song? Yeah, right. It's childlike yet sinister. Interesting, right? So you know what I found out is that the author of this song, of these songs that were called minstrel songs, he actually, his song was used at the Democratic National Convention. So you know the song, "Oh Susanna, oh don't you cry for me." That's also one of his songs, and it's also part of this genre called the Negro melody. So it's a part of the minstrel, something with the minstrel thing. Yes, Sean, the iambic pentameter. Who knows about the iambic pentameter? When I was in high school, my stepmother, she pushed me into advanced classes. So she had me taking all these advanced literature classes and all this stuff. And I would have to write poetry with the iambic pentameter and all this stuff. And I was like, ah! So I don't know. Maybe I just I was so traumatized, I don't remember it. So, oh, really? That's what you're thinking? What are you saying, Karen? The music is hypnotic like the ice cream truck music. Now that's something interesting. Oh, so you were reading along. Oh, what a trip, right? The words. Imagine that, a Democrat, probably about little. So, when they talk about the Democratic Party and what the origins were all about, you can look it up. It's right there. You would write your poetry according to the iambic pentameter. Nice. So this is really interesting. You're welcome. It's a huge etheric puzzle. Oh, I like that. I like what you all. Oh, love it. Okay, let me move on. Okay, so like I was saying, we have this interesting memory, it seems, of these flying machines, and to have your own individual, imagine you have a hangar instead of a garage, you have a hangar. And of course, I think that people had sailing vessels too. So it could, this, proper airship could be air, land, and sea. Doesn't that sound amazing? Air, land, and sea. So you'd have a docking station, you would have a hangar, whatever you would. Yeah, I could see it. So the ether, when I looked up imagery for ether, this is what what I found to explain the ether in an image. I don't think you could, but this again is what I was sensing all of this was about this circumnavigation of the so-called globe, where it's just east to west, west to east, not north to south, south to north. Why is that? And they said that Nellie put a girdle around the globe. And I thought it was also weird that, did you, for anybody who watched that video, Nellie was competing against Jules Verne's character's time. And she beat the time, but while she was in Europe, she stopped off to meet Jules Verne's. Didn't you think that was a crazy, like, come on now. She had time to stop. If she's having this race across the globe, she has time to stop off and meet Jules Verne's. Okay. Neutral energy. Ethereal. That's another word I love. I just love these words. What is it? These words must have some kind of positive energy, like ethereal, Zeppelin, Zephyr, all of these words. Ether. NASA admits we're on a non-rotating flat plane. They admit all their pictures of globe Earth are CGI. Yes, they do, Belinda. They have gone even further. I'm going to produce some receipts. I've been waiting to do it, but you guys probably have already seen it, where you can see the navigation. It clearly says that you have to base it on a flat Earth model. They have it in government documents, navigational documents. So it's right there. We're going to figure it out. So this whole globe aspect, and why is it that we have been so conditioned? And what it does is, now that I no longer believe it to be true, I felt a little bit unbalanced of like, what is going on here? Because you just feel so betrayed and you're trying to make sense of it. But I have now become more comfortable with learning as it unfolds to my understanding. And Job will give the wisdom to understand it, as it's like understanding it at the pace that you'll be able to really understand it, right? Is that the word? Understand it? So that's what the whole globe thing, the pushing of it is like, this agenda, it is so sinister. And back in those days when Nellie Bly was doing this trip, they had something called an ostrich egg globe. And look at these globes. Like, I used to love to collect globes. And did you like to have globes on your desk when you were doing your homework and just spinning it around like a goober? The first thing you see in a classroom, yes, globe Earth. On the bottom, it says for decoration. Does it say that, Belinda? Oh my goodness, did you all realize that? Belinda's saying that it says for decoration purposes. Oh, wow, Belinda, I didn't know that. That's right. The Bible says that the firmament, that's another word I love right now. Firmament. It's something to that word. It just feels familiar, right? It's something about it. And realm. That's another word I like. Realm. It covers the realm. And when you think about the earth realm, the world realm, now the way I look at it as a big clock. It's a clock. And it moves as a clock. How I look at it now. You had a globe in your room with encyclopedias. Yeah, right. I was a nerd too, as you can already tell. I'm sure that didn't come as a surprise. And, this whole aspect of Atlas, what is the deal with Atlas? I mean, I know it's like different gods. They'll name a god all these different names, of course. So Atlas is probably Zeus or something too. So you think of a picture inside a glass stone. Oh, nice. I like that. Very nice. The whole universe is a clock. There you are. Things above and below. There you are. Perhaps these globes represent an energy realm. Oh, interesting. Thank you, Corinne. I like that. Paul says, wheel in the sky keeps on turning. What song is that from? I should know it, right? Is that a Led Zeppelin song? And you look at this, and what do you think of this globe? So you have, it's kind of like they're telling you a firmament is there. Tell me what you think when you see this picture. Interesting. Looks like disclosure of some sort in a way. And this is a picture that was interesting in terms of the way that some cultures created cosmology. So you hear about the 4 rivers coming out of Eden, and it's represented by these 4 animals, and it looks like a labyrinth. And that whole aspect of, I mean, if you study Fibonacci and the spiraling, I've heard some people talk about the world realm being like a spiral staircase going down. And I don't know. What do you think? Oh, that was a Journey song. Okay, I should have known that. That's it. Pick in a glass. So yeah, the firmament, right? There you are. Roger, hello, and thank you for joining. I think we are the ones making this hard. Oh, we know what is going on. We have to stand up together. Amen. Thank you, Roger. That's right. It's like we just have the power, I believe, with Jah's blessing to just say, no, we're not going along with this anymore. Nope, we're not doing it. Leave us alone. We're not being divided. There you are. No more division. Yes. That's how that's how they win, and that's how they keep winning, is the division. Sean, you say, yes, now I'm speaking your language. You love the Fibonacci 5. Yes. Mathematics of creation. Yeah. So the whole Fibonacci sequencing. And I'm just throwing things out because I'm trying to understand it. So this is another picture. The one on the left is a Nordic, Norse, Viking cosmology. The one on the right is probably closer to what you would read in the biblical narrative of cosmology. So I'll keep that up so we can take that in a little bit. Tell me what you think about it. Do you ascribe to a certain cosmology? Do you want to share? Do you own any maps, or have you found any maps that you would like to recommend to anybody? Like, some people are just new to some of this, and you all share, and it's always wonderful. Mercedes says, I need to write these words down. My bilingual brain limits. Oh, that's fine. I understand. Writing is just so important with us learning. So I get it, sis. And you being bilingual, your brain is working way ahead of most people because you are doing something like, it's like a mental gymnastics when you're bilingual. It's amazing that you have 2 languages that you could speak fluently. Hats off to you, sis. So, yeah, so we have this whole aspect of cosmology, and I believe that cosmology is everything now to me. It's everything to understanding things. So again, I want to talk about briefly my grandfather and Antiquatech. And Sean, here you go. So my grandfather, Charles Eason, he was an electrical engineer, and he worked for RCA. So I grew up in Philadelphia, and he traveled over to Camden to work every day. And it was wonderful. When he would come home from work, he would always have treats for me. I don't know what it was. His office always had like these lifesaver little package, you know, the little tiny ones. He would always bring me lifesavers in the little packs and give them to me. There was always this nice treat. As soon as he got home from work, it was like, hey, pop up, you got my lifesavers. He would just have them. And it was just sweet things you remember, right? So he also worked down in the cellar. So in Philadelphia, we have cellars there, basements, and he had a workshop downstairs, and he worked on televisions for like a side hustle, you know, and anybody who needed a television fixed in the neighborhood, they knew that they could come and drop their television off to him. Can you imagine? You would not have to go far. You had people in your neighborhood that could fix anything for you. Isn't that amazing? So he would fix everybody's televisions, and he would make extra money, and we would just do fun things, you know, like it was just amazing how a man could move in society. He could always have enough for his family without, I mean, it was like without a question. He was such an amazing provider. So he would do these things. He was also a photographer, and, you know, just amazing. So these are some of the things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to Antiquitech. Now, I'm not happy with the fact that television technology came to us, because I'm not a fan of television. So don't get me saying that. But I'm talking about more of the technology. So he would have these tubes right here, and I think he'd have other tubes as well. It seems like there were some other ones that I could remember vaguely, but I just remember watching him fix the televisions. And when I look at this technology, it feels again familiar, and it feels like I said in the video, like I would have 1 foot in Antiquitech and 1 foot in the modern world. So that's probably the explanation of the nostalgia, because we got to touch both worlds, some of us. The younger people, not at all. But if you're from, at least if you're a baby boomer, or you're what they call, like me, a Gen Xer, you would have a memory of some Antiquitech. Let me know if you also feel the same way. So this is part of what I'm talking about when I look at this right here. Now, this, what you're looking at, this Antiquitech, when I was studying what is Negrescence, let me write it in the, I'm going to, for anybody who just wants to, if they're new to the term Negrescence, you're probably like, what are they talking about, this Negrescence? You can look up Negrescence. This is what came up when I was looking at this Antiquitech. That's where I got the word from. So if anybody remembers, this is where I got the word Negrescence. It literally came from me studying Antiquitech. So again, there is something so deep, is so deeply embedded And that's why I'm not triggered by this racial stuff that they play, and they run this racial grift on us, because there's something so deep to it all. And if we were to just get together, and I've always said, if we could just break bread with one another and hash a lot of this stuff out, but we need the knowledge also. We need tangible knowledge and facts. As they say, receipts. We need the receipts. So nobody can get their feelings hurt. It's just what it is. But this is where the Negrescence came from, is when I looked into this Antiquitech right here. 1 minute, I'm still here, okay? Give me a minute. Okay, thanks for being patient with me. So, do you see now why I use the term Negrescence all the time? Because when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. And you know how I go into my rabbit holes of research? I was like, whoa. And there is a company that this is their technology, and it's called Negrescence. It is literally science, Antiquitech science. Antiquitech and Negrescence. There you are. Isn't it a crazy connection, Joseph? I mean, it's so crazy. Yes, Sean. I thought I explained it, like when I first started using the word. I thought I explained it. I think at the time we were having a night class on people passing. Remember, we were talking about passing, the racial thing when people that are supposedly black, they can pass for white. So I think it came in that class that I was talking about Negrescence, but this is literally where Negrescence came from for me. Okay. Remind us what it is again. Wait, you know what I'll do? Something better, PH Joy. Let me show you the give me a minute, because I'm going to share this. So you'll know why I landed on it. There's a company. I just hang on, everybody, hang on. I saved it somewhere, but I'll just look for it just in the. Now it's used in some, I guess you could say right now, models that deal with racial identity. So you can find things that would deal with racial identity, but I'm talking about it from the science, from the technology. So hold it a minute. Negrescence. Okay, I think I found it. Yes, I found it. Thank you for being patient. Okay, so let me stop the screen, and I'm going to share and show you what I landed on when I initially came across the word. Okay, so we can get nerdy. Talk nerdy to me. Okay, so we're going to talk about what Negrescence is. Hey, Paulette, thanks for joining. Dallas is in the house. Thank you, Paulette. All right, so we're getting sciencey. Science. Okay, do you see what is it showing up for you? Okay, so you see rapid Negrescence, lighthouse lamp. Okay, so this is where I learned, when you look at this lamp and the science behind the filaments, It says, okay, let me jump into where it starts with the word Negrescence. Okay, the low thermal mass of these small filaments reduces the Negrescence time as they cool after switching off to achieve more precisely defined light pulses. Okay, so you see right here, incandescent light has to do with light. So, what do you think? Isn't that crazy? So that's why I say it all the time, because I want to understand it more. I want to connect more and, just see what is going on with this word. It's crazy. I've had to study and teach a little of this. Yes, you have. Good, Paulette. And share with us, please. Okay. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. So let me go back. I'm going to go back to the slides. And if you want, I'll leave a link to that site if you want to look into it, because you may be able to gather more information and help us understand, get to the bottom of this Negrescence issue. So this right here is part of the incandescent thing. Now, ether. Let me go back to the ether thing. One thing that I learned about ether in relation to how it's used in the medical world, I won't get into it too deeply, but a doctor by the name of Crawford Long, and it was weird because I worked at Crawford Long in Atlanta. That was my first job out of nursing school, was Crawford Long Hospital in Atlanta, which is part of Emory University. But Crawford Long, they claim, was the first doctor to use ether in surgeries. So this apparatus that you're looking at is an inhaler. So the sponge would have the ether, and the patient would inhale the ether and go into a sleep state. And analgesic type of, you wouldn't feel pain, you're under anesthesia. So that's interesting that ether is also from the standpoint of medical usage. And I'll look more into ether because I want to do a deeper dive on it. But just for the surface area of it, yes, it puts people to sleep. And I was just talking about sleep. And I'm going to do a deep dive on sleep and what is going on when we sleep. We go somewhere. We're in a realm when we are sleeping. So when you are, when you are having certain surgical procedures and they put you in what they call a twilight sleep, it's a different level of anesthetic sleep. And you can get put in total general anesthesia. You know how it is. You could go to the dentist and you could, get a bit of that anesthesia. When I had to have all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out at one time. And I went to an excellent doctor in Philadelphia. I don't remember his name, but he was excellent. But that was the first time I had been under that type of anesthesia. And they told me that, they gave me the anesthesia and I was sitting up, kind of sitting, if you've ever had your wisdom teeth taken out, you know how it is. And they said that once it started hitting me, I kicked my shoes off. And I was like, what? Because I didn't have my shoes on when I woke up or whatever came to. But they said I kicked the shoes, and can you imagine? You know how crazy I am. So they said the shoes went flying across the room, both shoes, okay? And I started asking everybody in the room what their credentials were. I was so embarrassed when they told me this. I was like, you're lying. They said, no, you asked everybody what school they went to and what their credentials were. They had to dodge the shoe. I guess, like, remember George Bush when he was dodging shoes? I was in party. Can you imagine that? I know you can. You can see me doing something that crazy, right? Just, they said I just kicked shoes, both of them. I did boom, and they're just flying across the room. Cray cray, okay? Completely cray cray. You can see me. If you know me, you can see me doing it. Have you ever been under that anesthesia that the dentist that the dentist gets? Yeah, so good times, right? Good times. By the way, my experience with having my 4 wisdom teeth taken out, it was fabulous, okay? I know that sounds crazy, but no, I don't have any bad memories of it. I don't know. I went to an excellent doctor. It really does make a difference who you go to. I had no problems. You said, I can see you. I'm that level of crazy. Me removing my own teeth. Oh, by the way, Juan, on that note, did you all know, this is a fun fact. You know, barbers, okay? I'm a barber and a nurse. So barbers were the original dentists. Isn't that scary? I would be your neighborhood dentist. You would come to me late at night when you're having that toothache that's making you want to lose your religion, okay? You would knock on my door, Jennifer, please give me a shave and take these doggone teeth out of my head. So yeah, so the dentist, they did the minor surgeries. They did bloodletting too, which is weird, right? When we talk about the the adrena thing, and the barbers were bloodletting. They were putting leeches on you. They were doing all that weird stuff, right? That's right. The barbers were the original dentist. So I would have a lot of hustles, okay? If we were in the old world, I'd be pulling your teeth out at 3 a.m, giving you a shave, hot towels, hot lather. Okay, now let me jump into this. Okay, I want you all to put on your thinking caps for me. You got to help me with this, okay? All right, this is a home from the 1800s. Now, when you look at it, I just want to see, what is your observation? What do you see when you look at it? That's right, Joseph. The barbers were the surgeons too, allegedly. They were. I looked into it. The barbers were the surgeons. The very first barber they found him buried in Egypt. Okay, so the very first barbers, they cut the hair of the Egyptian pharaohs because the pharaohs did not want hair on their body. So the priests of those days, they wanted to be clean shaven, and they wore the wigs. So they felt that it was more hygienic, I guess, to put a wig on a bald, clean head, right? So there you are. Fun fact. So I want to ask you, if you see something, say something with the decor of this room. Is anybody picking up on it? I just want to see if you see it. I'm not going to tell you, but I want you to tell me what you see when you look at this room right here. Does anything stand out? You said small houses, less room to put stuff. So are you saying, Paulette, does it look a little cluttered to you? There you are. It does look cluttered to Renee. You see clutter. Okay. This is not a wrong or right thing. I just want to see what you see. If you see something, please say something. You said back picture with a big face. Oh, okay. Oh, I see that. Okay. Interesting. You hate small houses. You do? You hate them? You said it looks like a safety hazard. Oh, you say it looks very busy? Many paintings. A bit ghostly, but it looks homey. So this is a home from the 1800s. Anybody else? I'm waiting to see who else sees what stuck out to me. This is the craziness that I see now. Anybody? I will tell you what I see, what I want it to see. So a lot of people see clutter. You see clutter? All right. Besides the clutter, please take your eyes and look at the side of the door. Do you see two items that it looks like they're on a shelf, like two, the little shelves decorative shelves? They're right next to the door. Do you see what I'm seeing? Like, can you focus in on that and tell me what you think it is? Johnny, I don't know what it is. I want you to help me. I need to understand what it is because it tells me that it's something to do with Antiquitech. That's what when I first looked at this picture, I was so drawn. Do you think they're lamps? Is that what you think they are? Lamps? Okay. So they're lamps. You see lamps also. You say Antiquitech. You say a meth pipe. No judgment. Everybody sees things differently. You thought lamps also. Sean says, looks like a big Berkey filter, water filter. Okay. You think something to drink out of? You say ether jars. Okay. You know what? I'm going to say I like that answer. I suspect, everyone, that whatever those things are, they have something to do with possibly energy. I don't know why. They could be lamps, they could be, but I don't know why I'm thinking that it's something else. You say, Mary says gas lanterns. I don't know, Mary. If anybody wants to take a screenshot of it and get back to who takes, I think it's Shauna. Shauna, I think she said she could. Oh yeah, Shauna. Oh, that's right. Shauna is not with us tonight. She'll be watching on a restream. But Shauna, a lot of times she will take screenshots of the pictures, and she found some details in some that were amazing. So if you want to take a screenshot and observe and go around the room, if you pick up on anything, please drop it in the comment section, especially these two. What you're saying, we're saying lanterns or something, lamps. You say probably a time travel machine. I like where you're going, Tina. I like the ether jars. I really I dug that. Okay, so it's something up with that. Again, more Negrescence, more Antiquitech. So don't you love the filaments inside? It's amazing. You absolutely love laughing gas. No judgments. I had fun with it. I've only had it one time. Roger that. It had me acting like a complete cuckoo bird, but it was fun, I guess. They had a lot of fun. The people that did my surgery, my wisdom tooth surgery. Yes, let's see. PH Joy, you say they are a bit top heavy for a lantern, I guess. And where would the flame be illuminated? That's a good question. I didn't see anywhere. I didn't see anything that would have a lamp, like a bulb. It just, I don't know. It's just something about that when I first saw it. If above the canister, it seems like a fire hazard. Yes, exactly. We'll figure it out together. So check out the filament. Have you seen light bulbs like this? Did you have things like this around your grandparents' home? Did you notice? Does it look familiar? I'll say one thing about laughing gas. It's very funny. It is very funny. And the joke is usually on the patient, right? Yeah, I'm glad they had a fun day. I gave them a fun work day that day. And what do you think when you look at this? I don't know. Something about it is so beautiful to me. You think ether jars makes most... you know what? I'm going with you, Tina. I'm going with ether jars. I don't know why. Something about it just feels right. Ether jars. So this is a wagon. It's so ornate and beautiful. I don't know. It's from the 1800s and all of that. And it's just so ornate and beautiful. When I first saw this, I was just amazed. But oh my gosh, is that Girl Code? Girl Code. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Willy Wonka. Yes, sis. Oh my God. We got to get together. We miss you. Oh my gosh. Girl Code. Yay. Love you, sis. I haven't talked to my Girl Code in so long. Tina is asking, why don't we use ether in the medical field now? I wonder. It is used, but it's used in a different way, maybe. Like the way that the different chemicals, I was looking into it a little bit, like it's different, I guess, combinations of molecules and things used for different things. I have to look into it a lot more. But yes. Girl Code, what are you thinking about this conversation about ether? Thank you. Is that a resource? Thank you, Joseph. Joseph can recommend some great resources to, learn about a lot of this Antiquitech. Fabulous. So I just wanted to, I don't know, just looking at, we were talking about airstreams earlier. So this is something that I came across, like the interior. Somebody lives in their airstream and they, designed it. And it's a smaller airstream that they have. But look at how you can maximize a little bit of space and not be cluttered, right? But I like this so much. It just seems very soothing. I'm loving it. Yay. Thank you, sis. Oh, really? Sean says starting fluid is an ether. Oh, it's an ether. How do you capture ether? I wonder. I guess electricity is pretty impossible to store as well. Accidentally punny. I love punny. But yeah, I guess they capture the ether. It seems as if the spires, something about the architecture is built to capture ether. When you look at a lot of the airships, you'll see a lot of cables and things, and you see the point that is in the front of the airship. And when you see the points that are on top of the spires, on top of the cathedrals, a lot of the older ones had iron and a lot of antennas. So my understanding is they would capture the ether that way. Now, I'm going to look into the ether. I do not have an understanding of it. It's very new to me. So I want to understand ether. And I want to also look at it with the filter of my biblical filter, the spirit world, when it comes to ether. So again, if you have understanding of ether or good resources about ether, please share. So here's the inside, look at that. I just wanted to show just the inside of some of the airstreams. And just ending on this one here, something about it. It's just a vibe to end on. For you gypsy hearts with the wanderlust, and you have that childlike imagination and wonderment and sense of adventure, exploration. It's just something that just wanted to share. If you have any thoughts, share it. Running bear, free energy. That's right. Free energy. That's what it is. That's what we're sensing. Thanks for joining. You're a new name. Let's thank or welcome rather your running bear. You're a running bear. You got to join us again. You're running bear. Thanks for coming into our chatmosphere, our little night school. Morphic fields. Okay, morphic fields. Want to learn about that? That's right. That's the word. Freedom. Freedom. And this whole aspect of the way they do currency and money is just all to control people. All of this control is just ridiculous. But I just like the free spirit of this imagery, like the gypsy. Something about it I love. But I want to thank you for joining. There you go. Getting some greetings there. You're running bear. We want to see you again. She's making antique look chic. That's right. She is, right? It's something very, I don't know. I could just see she's got a field growing of different things, right? She's got something for you guys that like your little things, your little relaxation herbal salads. She's just growing lots of lettuce, right? Lots of lettuce. She's growing all kinds of healing things. I want us to get back to these things, go back to the old ways, the ancient paths, right? Thank you for joining me. Love it when you join. And I'll be back with you soon. I'll be doing some more uploads. I'm not sure what I will work on because sometimes I don't know. I have so much that I've already started researching. What happens sometimes is something will bump, it'll bump up before something else and push something else to the back burner. But I have a few good things that I want to share in some uploads, but I will keep you posted. In the meantime, have a good one. Love you all. And may Jah bless you with all provisions, joy, optimal health, safety, love, all of that good stuff. Okay. Roger, it's nice to see you here. You got to come back and hang out with us. All right. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, everybody. Love you, love you, love you. I'll see you soon. All righty.